Hello and welcome to Business Trends. For today, I am Tolu Ajayi. President Association of Nigerian Cashew Exporters, Tola Fasheru, in this interview discuss issues, developments and prospects of Nigeria's cashew export business and outlook for the Nigerian cashew farmers in 2017. How would you describe the performance of the nation's non-oil export sector in the year 2016?
Well, by all standards, I won't say we have fared too well. When you consider the kind of emergency situation in which the Nigerian economy is, and we're looking at the non-oil export sector being the bailout, I think a lot more results will have been better for us. We've still not gone beyond the $3 billion mark in terms of the earnings for the non-oil sector, which I think is small. I'm expecting that all the key players with government and the private sector will work with a sense of urgency, with more sense of urgency, to see that we build more critical mass in our non-oil export sector. $3 billion, you know, when you are looking at all the numerous commodities that we have, is a far cry. 3 billion is generated from one commodity. For instance, in Vietnam, cashew gives them about 3 billion in Vietnam. So from that knowledge, we have a lot to do to grow each of these commodities. And I've said that a radical step should be taken, whereby, you know, for all these commodities, like we have like a task force put on ground, comprising of, you know, the government and the private sector working together, setting goals and targets. For instance, beginning of the year, what goals are we setting? I've personally, in my own subsector, we've set goals, but we need to work out these goals with the government sector, or with the government. Already we're having some dialogue and some meetings with the Honorable Minister of Agriculture already. We've submitted our 4-year cashew development roadmap to him, and he's already following it. The only thing is that we want more bites, you know, putting aside too much bureaucracy, and let's move, let's start running to grow the non-oil export sector to a place like $30 billion in a year. It's possible.
What would you describe as challenges, you know, that impacted development of that sector over the years, especially in the outgone year?
Well, there were issues of policy, issues of not enough credit. I mean, if you know that at the moment, well, I mean, for the better part of 2016, the interest rate was at its highest level. Most of the banks were giving out loans at about 25%, and then of course there were other charges attached to it. How do you want the non-oil export to grow in that kind of situation? And the funds are not even available, not much available, because since you had these monies taken away from the banks, the government funds taken away from the banks, a lot of our banks have just been more or less incapacitated, you know, to support the real sector, really, and that's a major problem. During the year, the government, Central Bank, came up with a 550 billion naira export stimulation loan, facility. Up until now, nothing has happened concerning that. 1 year is going. And that's why I said that we are not putting, there's a sense of urgency that should be seen for a country or an economy that is in recession, and you're looking at the non-oil sector, the non-oil export sector bailing out. The policy of foreign exchange also has not shown friendliness on the part of government towards the exporters. These are very critical issues that will make a whole lot of difference for the growth. Then when we are looking at increasing the value of our export, we're talking about supporting value addition so that the exports can be done after some value has been added. That will give us more earnings. Okay, what support have they given in that regard? Okay, you're talking about in the infrastructure that will help an average exporting company who is manufacturing to sell to export. By now, we expect that the power situation should have been improved. So I know the government is doing a lot of work. I know they mean well, but I can tell you this economy needs to be handled with a more sense of urgency, and the government needs to. The government has been there now, going to the second year running. We want them to settle down and run faster. We want to run with them. We believe in the government. We believe in the passion and the zeal of His Excellency President Buhari. We know he loves this country, but we need more a demonstration of urgency, in what we want.
Now, can you also share with us some recent developments in the cashew exports in particular that you think has been generating reactions, especially among players in the industry?
Well, basically, the cashew subsector has experienced a whole lot of transformation since we got into administration or in governance of the sector. We've kind of brought it from a place of what I would call oblivion to, we brought it to the spotlight, making government to understand the value that cashew has, and how cashew can be a game changer for the Nigerian economy. At the same time, we've projected Nigerian cashew in the international community, and also we've been trying to put proper order in the trade, which is very, very important. The quality program that we have, we've been implementing that, working with the farmers, letting them understand that Nigerian cashew has been projected to be a premium cashew, and they got to do all that they need to do. And it starts from drying. First of all, it starts from even how they harvest it. Should not pluck the cashew. They will not be too much in a hurry plucking the cashew to allow the nut to drop by itself. I mean, when you do that, you avoid what we call immature nuts. Okay, and then of course when it's harvested, it should be properly dried immediately. So, and then the packaging of it too. Don't put it in polypropylene bags. Ensure that it is, after drying, it's put in jute bags. So that has helped in providing or making the Nigerian cashew a better quality, and it has become a toast of the international market, and a lot of more work is being done in that regard. The other aspect is the issue of encroachment, or the order that I mentioned about, saying that we do not want foreigners going into our farm gates. The cashew business, just like any other commodity, is a value chain business, and everyone should be allowed to play his role. A situation where somebody comes from, an outside country, and then go straight into our farm, short circuits the chain, and at the time when Nigerians need to be engaged, where we need to provide jobs for our people. When they are cut off, then it's not really the proper thing. So we're working on that. Working with government, we've already put our case to government, and government is on our side on that, and our members are also working on that to see that foreigners we want them, we encourage them to come, but they should stay at the port city where the goods will come, and then they can do whatever transaction they're doing. So a whole lot of things are going on, a lot of discussions are going on with the government in the area of improvement, in the area of providing funding, in the area of increasing the level of our processing of the cashew, so that we can prevent our jobs. When these cashews are shipped in its raw state, it's like we're exporting our jobs out. If we're able to process it here, we will create more jobs. And cashew is quite highly labor intensive, so it means that more people can be engaged in these factories, and our women can, it's also gender friendly. The women, 70% of those working in the cashew business or the cashew, they're women. So it will help a great deal if we can work on this value addition thing. At the moment, just about 15% of what we produce is processed locally. Okay, so a lot of discussion is going on. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture is very passionate about ensuring the transformation of these cashew into value added product, and I'm aware that is engaging the African Development Banks and some other institutions, financial institutions, to see that we can do it can ensure or get these cashew better processed here, so that we can create the jobs and add value. What will ordinarily be, we will get maybe $1,300 for. If we had value to it, we can get $10,000. So that in itself will skyrocket the earnings from our exports.
Let us into the nitty-gritty of cashew business. For a layman, they would like to know how many nuts are sold per ton, for example.
Well, averagely, I think what we say is you have about 200, between 180 and 200 nuts, making 1 kg. Okay, so, and in a bag you have about 80 kg. Okay, and 1,000 kg make 1 ton. So you can make your deductions from there.
We'll also like you to share with us, how is it graded and how is it scaled?
Yeah, well, like I said earlier on, we grade it in like 80 kg each bag, and then you have about 13 bags making 1 ton for cashew. About 13 bags, because each one is graded at 80 kg. So if you multiply 80 by 13, it gives you about 1,024 kg, which makes 1 ton. By the time you deduct the tier, which is a bag, 1 kg is used as a tier. So it gives you about 1,000 kilo.
One area that is of serious importance or great importance to foreign buyers is standard and quality, and how, of course, it is being packaged. Let us discuss a bit of this.
Okay, usually the moisture is one of the most important aspects of quality, and today the international standard is that it should not be more than 10% as a maximum moisture. The other important aspect is the KOR, what we call the KOR, the kernel outturn result. That is when you measure, when you cut the cashew, a kg for instance, and then you you remove the kernel. You kernel. When you weigh it, it should be about 48 kWh. That gives you a good cashew. And then of course the admixture or the foreign matter also should be as minimal as possible, maximum maybe 0.5 kilos. Then nut count, the number of nuts that make a kg shouldn't usually be more than 200. That means when you measure a kg, okay, and you count it, it should not be more than 200. I think those are basically and then of course you'll be well packaged in jute bags. Should be well packaged in jute bags. So jute bag has become a very, very critical aspect. Today we have a bit of challenge right now because we do not have a factory really that is running right now producing jute bags for us. And jute bag is what we use in packaging for cashew and even most of the other commodities. So we have to now go importing. So that also has been discussed with the Honorable Minister, and he's saying that, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, and he's saying that he would work towards ensuring that we start local production. And it starts from the raw material, which is the kernel. So we have to get the farmers to begin to grow this kernel, and then, of course, begin to encourage people to go into the production. But in the meantime, we're importing, and we are saying that the government should support us, because today the prices has gone haywire, and we told the Honorable Minister to please help us to see that we get some kind of duty waiver, so that it can be, jute bags can be accessible to our members. You are addressed the way you are dressed. Yes. And since that's the main packaging product, and our buying countries now have started saying, our buyers have started saying that they want cashew packaged in new jute bags. Before now, people just use any kind of jute bag for it, but they're saying no. So, and that has become an emergency situation now, which has been communicated to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, and is doing something on that.
How can our local farmers make money from cashew, the cashew apple itself? Because it has been noted that a higher percentage of the cashew apple itself is wasted after the cashew nut has been extracted.
It's a big challenge. If you get to the farm, you will almost cry. You get there, you see where the nuts are being removed. You see the apple on the ground to rot away. It's a challenge right now, but I'm happy to say that some people have started coming up with the processing of it. The number is still very, very few, but some have started with coming up with cashew juice, using the apple to make it. And we are working on some kind of collaboration with the Brazilians. They've been able to use the cashew apple very, very effectively and efficiently, and we're trying to work on that to see how we can quickly change the situation so that many people can be involved in transforming the cashew apple into many things, because you can actually use it for the juice, for wine, a whole lot of things actually.
Now, with rising prices in the international markets, and of course the major suppliers being Vietnam and India not being forthcoming as they used to, how can we encourage our local farmers to key into the big picture that is emerging?
Well, I will tell you that an average cashew farmer in the last 3 years have really done very well. I told you earlier on what we have done to stimulate the interest for Nigerian cashew. whereby, one with our guarantee of quality and our projection of what we're doing. Today, Nigerian Cashew has a voice now, and that has helped. We signed an MOU with the Vietnam Cashew Association the year 2013, where that in itself opened up our market, opened up the market to an average Nigerian player, because before then, most of the export was being done by some of our foreigners. That opened the MOU, that we signed with them, the association, my association and theirs, opened up the market tremendously. So that has helped the price, as you've said. And an average farmer today, in the last 3 years, has earned well over 300, has had his earning increased by well over 300%. So today my farmers are very, very rich farmers. They are happy farmers, and they are ready to produce more. And today a whole lot of planting is going on. A whole lot of places you're seeing, the cashew plantation. And let me give you a little analysis. If you have a farm that has maybe 100 hectares, okay, 100 hectares, you can safely, with the kind of hybrid inputs, seedlings that we're using now, you can be sure that to earn 280,000 times 100, that's about 28 million yearly. 280,000 times 100. That means you'll be earning like on your farm a ton per hectare, and getting about 280,000 naira on each ton. That's about 28 million naira. So we are saying that the sky is not even the limit, for anyone who goes into cashew farming.
So the nation obviously has the capacity, our farmers has the capacity for increased local cultivation.
Absolutely. We have a country that has about 84 million hectares of land, and out of which only 40%, 84 million hectares of arable land, out of which only about 40% has been cultivated so far. Huge potentials. Ivory Coast, we're doing about 170,000 tons here. Ivory Coast is already doing about 600,000. So, and they don't have as much land as we do. And in Nigeria, cashew can grow in most parts of the country. It's a national crop. In some other countries, you have it maybe in the south or in the west, like that. But here, we have it from the north to the south, to the east, to the west, from Niger to Nasarawa to Kogi to Kwara to Edo to Ogun to Oyo to Cross River, to Imo to Abia, all that area. It's amazing opportunity for wealth creation for us.
Now, with rising prices in the international markets, and of course the major suppliers being Vietnam and India not being forthcoming as they used to, how can we encourage our local farmers to key into the big picture that is emerging?
Well, I will tell you that an average cashew farmer in the last 3 years have really done very well. I told you earlier on what we have done to stimulate the interest for Nigerian cashew, whereby, one with our guarantee of quality and our projection of what we're doing. Today, Nigerian Cashew has a voice now, and that has helped. We signed an MOU with the Vietnam Cashew Association the year 2013, where That in itself opened up our market, opened up the market to an average Nigerian player, because before then, most of the export was being done by some of our foreigners. That opened the MOU, that we signed with them, the association, my association and theirs, opened up the market tremendously. So that has helped the price, as you've said. And an average farmer today, in the last 3 years, has earned well over 300, has had his earning increased by well over 300%. So today my farmers are very, very rich farmers. They are happy farmers, and they are ready to produce more. And today a whole lot of planting is going on. A whole lot of places you're seeing, the cashew plantation. And let me give you a little analysis. If you have a farm that has maybe 100 hectares, okay, 100 hectares, you can safely, with the kind of hybrid inputs, seedlings that we're using now, you can be sure that to earn 280,000 times 100, that's about 28 million yearly. 280,000 times 100. That means you'll be earning like on your farm a ton per hectare, and getting about 280,000 naira on each ton. That's about 28 million naira. So we are saying that the sky is not even the limit, for anyone who goes into cashew farming.
So the nation obviously has the capacity, our farmers has the capacity for increased local cultivation.
Absolutely. We have a country that has about 84 million hectares of land, and out of which only 40%, 84 million hectares of arable land, out of which only about 40% has been cultivated so far. Huge potentials. Ivory Coast, we're doing about 170,000 tons here. Ivory Coast is already doing about 600,000. So, and they don't have as much land as we do. And in Nigeria, cashew can grow in most parts of the country. It's a national crop. In some other countries, you have it maybe in the south or in the west, like that. But here, we have it from the north to the south, to the east, to the west, from Niger to Nasarawa to Kogi to Kwara to Edo to Ogun to Oyo to Cross River, to Imo to Abia, all that area. It's amazing opportunity for wealth creation for us.
So you mean to say that the nation has the capacity, our farmers have the capacity to, of course, increase local cultivation of cashew for exports?
Absolutely. We have a country that has about 84 million hectares of land, and out of which only 40%, 84 million hectares of arable land, out of which only about 40% has been cultivated so far. Huge potentials. Ivory Coast, we're doing about 170,000 tons here. Ivory Coast is already doing about 600,000. So, and they don't have as much land as we do. And in Nigeria, cashew can grow in most parts of the country. It's a national crop. In some other countries, you have it maybe in the south or in the west, like that. But here, we have it from the north to the south, to the east, to the west, from Niger to Nasarawa to Kogi to Kwara to Edo to Ogun to Oyo to Cross River, to Imo, to Abia, all that area. It's amazing opportunity for wealth creation.
Are there efforts by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council in the development of non-oil exports?
Well, I must give kudos to the man at the end of affairs, Mr. Cashew Awolowo, the ED there. We've never seen it as good as it is today. He's been really his zeal and passion for non-oil exports is unparalleled, and his zeal for the cashew commodity itself, in particular, is awesome. I must say, it's singularly it brought in cashew to be one of the 13 commodities, 13 strategic products which the government will be using to diversify the economy away from oil. And some of his support, we can't underplay it. He's been with us, traveled to some of the major cashew buying countries. We've been to Vietnam together to project the crop. We've been to Dubai together to project the crop. We're hoping to go together to Singapore again sometimes in February. So he's also been instrumental to where cashew is today. And of course, we are only calling for government to give him more support, more funding, to be able to do more for the non-export sector.
Now, what is your organization doing to help achieve significant improvement in the Nigerian raw cashew nuts itself?
Yeah, basically, like I said, we've done quite a lot. And I must tell you, in a country like Nigeria that has always been almost totally reliant on oil. For you coming from a private sector to make an impact, you really need to do a lot, and that's what we've done over the years to make the government see the importance. I remember in the days of Dr. Akumi Adeshino, we had to work with him. We had to, get him to see the potentials and the benefits and the advantages that the economy can get from cashew. And then, of course, our own minister, who is there right now, Chief Abdul Ogbe, who is himself a cashew man, is a cashew farmer. We've also been working with him to see how we can make the Nigerian cashew the best in the world, to improve the production, to enhance value addition, to move funding into that sector to aid, the production, the marketing, the value addition or the processing that we're talking about. So a whole lot the association has done in organizing the sector, in quality enhancement. We've really done tremendously to position cashew. And today cashew is, unbelievably, one of the top commodities. By the time you mention 4 or 5 commodities, you mention cashew. Indeed, cashew is the first you hear on the mouth of our Minister of Agriculture, by virtue of the work that we have done from our end as a champion of the commodity.
And finally, what strategies is your organization putting in place to position Nigerian non-oil exports, for entrance into the European market?
Clearly, the first thing you do is to work on the quality, because when you are talking about market, you must have a good product to sell, and that we have been doing. The Nigerian cashew today, in terms of quality, is far much more than what it was in some years' time in the past. The enlightenment that we are giving our farmers, and even those handling it across the value chain, they've been sensitized. They've realized how important it is to produce or to have qualitative product. So, and that we are projected to the international community wherever we are, whether we are in the World Cashew Convention, whether we are in any of our major buying countries, in Vietnam, in India, whether we are in a forum like the International Nuts and Dried Fruit Congress, where you have people from all over the world, major stakeholders in the industry. We've done that. We've also for instance, we have what we call we're part of the African Cashew Alliance, and I was the vice president up until last year. I haven't been on that seat for 4 years, 2 terms. These are various channels with which we have projected the Nigerian cashew to the whole world. And today, the demand and the interest is it's really beyond comprehension, the interest of the world. And then what we're doing now is to position ourselves very well for processing. We have realized the strategic positioning of our country, you know, vis-a-vis, I mean, looking into the future cashew processing. Nigeria being very close to Europe, we want to seize that opportunity, but we want to start on a very beautiful level where we can be that hub where people can say, yes, when it comes to processed cashew, Nigeria is a place. We have the opportunity, the advantage of proximity to Europe. 20 days, the vessel is there. And I can tell you, these other countries are looking for, the Europeans and the Americans, they're looking for options. Because the major countries are where they get the processed cashew is Vietnam and India. So we're getting ourselves ready to be that alternative or that option for them. And we're already working on that alongside with all those that matter, our members, and indeed the government to make us a giant in cashew processing. I believe in the next 5 to 10 years, Nigeria will be playing a major role as a major supplier of value-added cashew to the world.
President, National Cashew Association of Nigeria, Mr. Tola Fashew, and of course, I accept my best wishes. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.